Hello and welcome to the gameplay video for Survive the Dark Ages Online Edition. Okay, so this video is going to take you through the basics of registering your account and just getting started in the game. The interface will change as we make changes and improvements, so bear that in mind when you play for yourself. You may see a few more options and a few more features and hopefully a better experience than we've got here, but this should give you an idea of what to expect. Okay, so when you register an account, you just need to come up with a unique username, which is available, and obviously a password between 8 and 50 characters, and an email address, which is useful if we want to reset our password if we lose our password or forget our password. You need to make sure you have access to this email address. So and then you just pick a gender for your character, male or female, agree to the terms and conditions, and then pass the robot test. Hopefully we can get verified as an actual human. There we go. We passed. That's good. So now you can just register. And what the game will do now is it will log you straight in, and you'll get joined into one of the kingdoms in the game. So we've joined the kingdom of the Druids, and take you to the help menu, which is just over here. So this provides you with just the basics on how to play the game and a good starting point. This will be improved incrementally as well. So as it recommends here, let's go to our settlement and have a look at our little settlement. So this is where all our resources get produced and levies get trained, and it's the main sort of part of the game. So the first menu, the population menu, lets you manage the population, so you can build housing. And that increases the number of people you can have in the settlement. You can upgrade the sanitation to increase the growth of population. You can make your houses bigger, so you can store more people. And the more people you have in the settlement, the more productive they'll be. So let's go to the resource production, and there's a number of different upgrades you can get to upgrade different resources. There we go. So we can improve our iron production, we can improve our stone production, and you can see the numbers going up. And silver production is already pretty good because we get a share of the income that our kingdom makes from all of their lands. So we're making quite a lot of silver already, which is good. And then there's a storage, because you can see we've just gained another 276 silver there, and we're going to run out of space eventually, so you need to upgrade your storage capacity so that you can store enough resources. Let's just make sure we don't lose out. Okay, so we've upgraded our storage a bit. Let's upgrade the other ones a bit more as well. And then you can look at the military. So you train levies from your population, and you can then train them into troops to join your army. So let's upgrade our barracks. That means we can store more and more levies, and improve the training yard, which means we can train more levies every minute, because the game refreshes every minute. We'll get more levies in our settlement. So you can see we actually ran out of options there, because you have a limit to the number of upgrades you can get. See, it's 5. So that's because we're running an unmanaged settlement at the moment, so we're better off changing to one of the other different types of settlement you can have: farming, nomadic, mining, fortress. These 4 are probably the best at the moment. Farming is good for resource production, and the nomadic steppe is sort of a compromise between resources and having a good military. You see, you can upgrade we can upgrade the training yard and the barracks significantly more than you could with the farming settlement. And then the fortress is even more military, and then the mining is slightly less productive than the farming, but more military than the nomadic. So let's select a farming for now. So we'll just try and get things growing. So you can see our options have now increased. We can go up to 60 for our housing, and we can improve our training yard even up to level 10 now. So we'll just get a few more upgrades there. There we go, got more and more levies coming into the settlement. And you also see now that we can afford to hire some mercenaries. So this is a way of getting troops straight into your army. It costs a fair amount of silver, but it's a really good way of just improving your forces. So we've got 30 soldiers now, and we're still far short of what we need to have a military campaign, but the main thing in the game is you're working with other players, so you can send troops to each other and work together to build up a force more powerful, so that you can actually start to take territories. So let's just have a look at our kingdom now. So we are currently in the Kingdom of the Druids, but you can choose a new kingdom on the Choose Kingdom menu. If you leave your kingdom, you won't be able to rejoin as long as the ruler is in place. So if we left the Druids, as long as Matanza is the ruler, we would not be able to rejoin. And there's the kingdom info. That tells us the other lords in our kingdom. So we've got the ruler, Matanza, and we've got these other high lords, and so Chancellor, and there's the Marshal, and then other lords like us who are just at a slightly lower level. And you can see the score, which our score is 1800, and they're doing significantly better than us, but obviously we just started out, so we'll find ourselves a bit lower down in the scoreboard there. Okay, and finally there's a rebellion option where you can decide if you want to join the one other lord at the moment who's planning to rebel in secret, and you can press this button to start planning to rebel yourself. If you feel such inclined, if your rebellion is successful, it will found a little kingdom of its own with its own leader, and start off at war with the kingdom you're in at the moment. So let's have a look at some of the other actions we can take in the game. So you can recruit. That's how you turn your levies into actual soldiers. You can see you can select different soldier types. Each soldier type has its own advantages and disadvantages. You can find more information on the wiki. Generally, the more expensive a troop is, the more effective they are, and they all have their own different skills. So we'll add them to our army now. We can just afford one more, so let's get heavy cavalry pretty good. Okay, so we've hired some troops now. We can do trading. We don't actually need any resources at the moment, so we'll hold off that. Defend. So our kingdom controls a number of territories. Each territory bringing income, which is then shared out among all the lords in the kingdom. You can see our kingdom actually controls an awful lot of land at the moment. So you can help the other lords in our kingdom by reinforcing the garrisons. You see, reinforce, and you can there you go. You can see your own regions here as well when you actually own some. We don't own it at the moment because we've just started out, but you can see that there. And then finally we've got the exploration menu. So this is where you can go and you can form your own kingdom if you've got enough gold, or you can go on a raid. Raids are good because they get you some resources and add a bit of excitement to the game, and you can improve your attack to make raiding more likely to succeed. Okay, and then the final option is the attack menu. So we've got two regions we can attack here. Peterborough is fairly weak, so you can see we surround it. So we don't surround it, sorry, we border it. So we can attack across the border. They've got significantly more troops than we have at the moment, so we want to make sure we've got a good advantage there, because they do have an advantage as a defender, so we need to make sure we've got a good force before we take them on. So we'll let our resources build up before we plan an attack on them. And then there's a chat menu where you can chat with other people in the kingdom. So there's the public chat. You can see people chatting to each other now. All the kingdoms, people can just have a chat. And then there's the kingdom chat, where you can chat with other people in your kingdom. So in our kingdom, we can see with the king's been posting, and there's a player who's actually left the kingdom since then, and you can see how recently they've logged in as well, so you can see how active they are, and make plans and other such things. And then there's the info menu with development news from us, Black Badger Labs, the wiki, which is maintained by the players, and then the game map. So you can actually see, you saw the map on the attack menu, but this is actually a more expanded version, and you can see all the regions that are currently in the game. Again, this is growing constantly, and you can see which the colour of the kingdom that controls it. So our forces are mainly in the southeast of England, but we've also got some land in Sweden and even Norway, so you can see how the kingdom's growing. And then there's a decisions menu, which gives you daily decisions. We've not got any decisions yet, got to wait a bit of time for these to generate. And then we've got messages, so we've received 4 messages from all the different rulers of the main kingdoms. They're just sort of saying hello and encouraging us to join their alliances and things. You don't have to get too worried about the politics of things yet. In fact, you can just play the game as you like. You can just manage a settlement, build your army up and do your own thing, or you can get involved in the more social aspect of things as well if you like. And private messages are good because they're a good way of directly talking to someone. So you just type in the name of the person you want to speak to, and then you send off the message there, and they'll get a little notification in their top. And yeah, that's the sort of the basic interface. And you can see our army at the bottom, how much gold we've got. We're a Grand Duke at the moment. That's decided by the size of the kingdom we're in. So let's go back to the settlement menu and just see how things are going over there. So in the time we've been away, we've trained a few levies, and we've also managed to accrue some silver, which is nice. So we can spend that on hiring some more mercenaries. We're still a bit short of what we need to actually take the settlement that's available. So let's just go around and do some more recruiting and do some more upgrades on the settlement, just improve things. So let's get the housing up. You can see because we've improved our training so much that the population is now declining, so we need to improve our sanitation so that that can start to grow again. And let's bump up our food production, get some more horses. There we go. And yeah, make some more space in the treasury for hopefully some more silver. There we go. Let's just clear out those messages as well. Okay, so let's have a look and see how many resources we've got on the settlement menu again. We've got 256 spears. So if we just had 50 more spears, then we'd be able to make an exploration attack on the explore menu. Let's see, 300 spears. Unfortunately, there don't seem to be any available for trade at the moment. Let's have a look. Ah, there are some. Okay, so we could trade some wood for 100 spears with player Maxwell. So let's just do that now. Okay, and if we go back to our settlement, we'll see that we've got those spears. So we can go off on a exploration raiding trip against a nearby settlement. So let's see what happens when we do that. Okay. All right. So we found a wealthy town and we earned 9,000 silver in the attack. So let's just go back to the settlement now and have a look and see what we can do with that silver. Okay, so now we've got a lot more options with recruiting mercenaries. So we spend our money wisely now. We've got 9,000. So let's just get some more infantry, and then we get some more archers. You can see the price going up, so it's a bit of a balancing act, trying to make sure that you don't spend more than you need to. There we go. And let's improve our scouts, actually, because scouts are really useful for the initial part of the battle. They give you an advantage, which you can carry through for the rest of the battle. There we go. Alright, so our army is starting to look a bit more substantial now. We've got about 300 guys. Let's have a look again at the region we can attack. Okay, so maybe we'll just recruit a few more scouts, just to be safe, because they do have the advantage over us at the moment. So we just wait until that refreshes. Okay, so now we've got a bit more silver. We can hire some light horsemen. There we go, and we can begin our attack. Okay, so you just select the region you want to attack. So in this case, Peterborough, and you can see that our kingdom has grown so big that actually the net result of taking this territory will be a slight loss to our kingdom. That's because our kingdom has grown so big now that it's getting harder and harder to manage all the territories that we control. But it's only a small difference, so let's just go through with the attack anyway. Okay, so our first assault, our outriders detected them because we had more scouts, and we were lucky, and we managed to kill a few of them, and we forced their archers out, but didn't quite manage to push things home. So let's just try and attack again. Okay, that went a lot better. So they've now got a lot less infantry and very few scouts left. So I think one more push and we can probably maybe 2 more pushes. There we go. Okay, so they're really putting up a stiff resistance here, but we've now really got the advantage. So we can, there we go. And once you've won a territory, you can transfer troops. We can't actually afford to send any troops at the moment because we haven't got enough paper. But that's now if you go to our account, we can see this new region we control, and the income it's generating. There we go, and you can see, there we go, this is the territory we've taken now. So those are the basics of the game. Obviously there's a lot more you can get into, and there's a lot of politics that goes on in the chat, and you can become a High Lord, and there are various different titles you can get as well. So there's a lot more to the game than these basics, but you can see what the fundamentals are, and spend a few days just building your settlement up, and go from there. Thanks very much.